Juan Ernesto Mendez is the UN Special Rapporteur on torture. That means that he's in charge of the UN Commission on Human Rights on the issues of torture. And he has just spoken out about Bradley Manning's detention. And he says, quote, Bradley Manning was subjected to cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment in the excessive and prolonged isolation. And so when the UN Commission on Human Rights is complaining about how we treat our detainees, and this is a US citizen that we're doing this to, you know that we're in bad shape. Now remember that they kept Bradley Manning in isolation to the point of keeping him in a cell for 23 out of the 24 hours of the day for 5 months. They kept him in Quantico for 8 months. They would force him to stand nude every morning. They pretended that he was a danger to himself, and so they would take away his sheets, his pillow, etc. They would put on lights on in his cell at night, so basically they would bother him, and when it's done throughout the night so you can't get sleep, that's sleep deprivation. It's a form of torture, and this was all so that he would say, yes, Julian Assange made me do it, and he wouldn't say it. In fact, when the UN asked to see him, President Obama's administration wouldn't allow it. Do you know that even George W. Bush allowed the Red Cross to go and inspect our detainees in Guantanamo Bay? Now, mind you, look, he'd kept them in black site prisons earlier for like some up to 3 years. So it's not like George Bush is a good guy, not by a long shot. But we elected President Obama to be changed. And he said that on civil liberties, he was going to change these things. And then they do this to a whistleblower who has, by the way, released information that has given the world so much greater access to what all of our governments are doing, whether it was the government in Tunisia, whether it was the government in Egypt, or our own government. And that's why our government hates it. And that's why they treated him so harshly. And that's why now the UN is saying, look, this is what dictators do. They don't allow us access to their detainees. Now, they didn't say he's a political prisoner, but he sure looks like a political prisoner when you don't like what he revealed about you. Remember Daniel Ellsberg, when he released the Pentagon Papers? He didn't serve any time in prison. And here's a guy now that has been in prison for so long, for nearly 2 years without a charge. Finally, he was charged. Finally, he's getting a trial. And it's a military trial, which is understandable because he's in the military. But look, we care about due process. We're not saying don't charge Bradley Manning. First of all, you should have charged Bradley Manning right from the beginning because you need some sort of speedy trial. That's in the U.S. Constitution. Instead, you let him sit there without charge while you basically treated him inhumanely and with degrading treatment, as the UN says. And only after tremendous pressure on the Obama administration did they finally turn around and go, oh, yeah, okay, I guess we'll move him to another prison and we'll stop doing all this nonsense treatment of him. By the way, their own doctors at the prison facilities said Bradley Manning is not a threat to himself. It's just not true. It was obviously done to try to break him, and that was before he was even charged. This isn't what the U.S. Government is supposed to do. This isn't what our country stands for, and it certainly wasn't what we elected President Obama to do. And the way he has treated whistleblowers, especially Bradley Manning, is deplorable. I think that at most, Bradley Manning should have gotten the prison time that he has already received. Not to say that he didn't do it. Not to say that he shouldn't get any prison time. But my God, he's already been in prison for all of this time and under some of the worst conditions. Let him go. Let him go. Look, our press does such a terrible job of reporting the news to us. One of the very few ways that American citizens actually get educated about what their government is actually up to, it's our government, is because of whistleblowers like Bradley Manning. And he's one of the many people that have been now nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize while he rots in one of our prisons without even having received a full trial yet. It's past time to let him go. And of course, they're going to do no such thing. And that trial is speeding along now, finally. And I'm afraid of the result that it's going to get Bradley Manning.